With social media's rapid evolution and different businesses leveraging its use, influencers have become powerful voices in shaping consumer behavior and, of course, brand perception. But with the digital landscape more crowded than ever, are influencers truly worth the investment? Welcome to Tech Passion Special on Tech Passion TV, where of course we dive into the cutting edge intersections of technology, of creativity, and of course innovation. We're addressing specific concerns that affect you and I. My name is Gabriella Michael. So today we're exploring one of the most dynamic aspects of digital marketing. We're talking about the role of influencers in modern branding. Now, joining us to obviously unpack this topic is an expert who will shed light on the strategies, shed light on the challenges, and of course the future trends of influencer marketing in the digital age. My guest today is a versatile and award-winning brand and communications associate with extensive expertise in brand and relationship management, including product marketing and growth hacking. Her name, Miss Pamilerinayo Eniolorunda. Good day and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me
You look
around.
really beautiful, though, by the way. I'm sorry I had to say it. All right, so let's dive into the series of questions, okay? Because as much as I do have the questions, these are questions that I believe our audience really want to get answers to. Now, let's start from the basic thing that we're here to discuss, the role of influencers in modern branding. Now, we know that a lot of brands are fully leveraging the use of social media to, boost their presence and gather as much consumer awareness as they can. But there are few who actually believe that they do not need influencer promotions. They do not need to partner or collaborate with most of these influencers. And these are always based on the premises that it's either they're too expensive or they just feel that the way these influencers take up themselves on social media might not be able to tell the story of their products. There are a whole lot of reasons why people actually come up with this. I don't want to call it excuse, or more like a reason not to jump into influencer partnerships. But the question now is, are influencers worth the investment in modern branding?
Thank you for the question, Gabriella.
Okay.
First, I'd say that, for brands, it depends on the type of model that you're operating. That is what helps you shape if or whether you need an influencer or not,
Okay.
right? You're a B2B and you're working with, executives and, co. You may not necessarily need an influencer, may not necessarily. So it all depends on the brand messaging, your core messaging also. Are they worth the investment? Again, that depends on the goal you intend to achieve. If you're looking for, visibility, product visibility, brand visibility, oh yes, they are worth the investment. Because when you look at, influencers and their engagement, their following, you want to get your brand out there, especially if everybody on social media is following them and engaging on their page. They talk about you. Almost everybody knows about you, right? So I think they're worth the investment.
Okay. Now that brings me to the next thing. No, we understand that for every business or for every investment, every business owner expects and some sort of returns, okay, profitable returns in quotes. So with the rise of micro and of course even the nano influencers, how do you determine the return of investment, or how do you determine rather which level of influencer provides the best return of investment for a digital campaign?
Okay, so for a digital campaign, I'd say that again, it depends on what you want, the metrics you want, the results you want. Let's say you have a product that is on App Store or Google Play Store, and you want downloads, right? you can track that, right?
Okay.
I'm engaging this person. What do I want in return? Do I want increased downloads? Now, downloads are different from sign-ups, right? So it's one thing to download the app or have more downloads from whatever platform, and it's another thing for people to actually sign up. Then it's another thing for people to actively use the app once
Okay.
they sign up. So I think that those are metrics that you check and you track when you engage influencers. Now, how does this help you determine? There are some influencers that have millions of followers, right? And they have, let's say, 100 comments or 200 comments.
Yeah.
And there are some that has 70 followers and they have 1 million comments. So you want to see how well that influencer engages their audience, right? And you want to see how well the audience engages with the influencer, right? An influencer can say, okay, I want you guys to download this, I want you to use this, right? Okay, will people just know about the product? Will people go ahead to download it? How does the influencer pass across the message? That is something that is very important.
Now, you mentioned something that's really essential, something that every business owner looks out for before they even reach out to most of these brand influencers and all, is the aspect of the amount of engagements they have on their different social media posts or the amount of followers they have. But there's always this question that pops up, okay? How important is an influencer's engagement rate compared to their follower accounts when assessing potential collaborations?
I think that the engagement is 120%.
Oh, wow. Not even 100.
No.
Okay.
Because again, you don't want to engage somebody that you're not engage your target audience, right? So I won't mention names here, but an influencer A has a million followers and a million comments. Influencer B has a million followers and 70,000 comments. You want to know which one is unique, right? Which one is original, right? You also want to look at the personality of the influencer. How well will they represent your brand, right? So, I think that engagement is top priority, right? Because it helps you that is more like a data-driven decision-making approach for you. You're able to determine, or let me say, have an insight to how well this influencer can promote your product or your brand.
You said something about having insights about how well this influencer can promote your brand. I think one other thing that you need to gain insight is the risk of falling into fake accounts, okay? Because it's easier for anybody to actually buy some set of followers or buy some sort of engagement rate. So that brings me to my next question. How can brands now protect themselves from risk like this?
Okay, again, thank you for the question. You're going to get a lot of thank yous. Okay, so I think that before you even engage an influencer, you need to do research.
Okay.
Right? From, like I mentioned before, the personality to conveying the message. What other brands has this influencer worked with?
Okay.
Are they competition? Can the influencer pull the type of target audience for your products? What kind of people are following this influencer? What kind of people does this influencer engage? So those are the things that you want to check before you begin to engage. So there's a lot of back end that needs to be done before you actually approach an influencer to see if they are going to be beneficial for you and your campaign.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I have a whole lot of questions. Are there any limits, okay, when we talk about digital platforms? Are there any limits to these things? Are there like some social media platforms that you do not need a brand influencer per se, and then there are some that you can actually focus your strength on getting an influencer collaboration?
Okay, so I'd say that there are no limits.
Okay.
Yeah, because even as professional as LinkedIn is, there's what we call LinkedIn influencers,
Mm.
right? So for every platform, there are influencers and there are people that you can actually engage to help your product or your brand, right? Now, I'd mentioned at the very beginning that the type of the type of person or the personality of the person you engage or the type of business and the model that you run determines how, who, and when you need an influencer. So
Okay.
I think that there's no limit. There's an influencer for every platform, and you should engage them if you need to promote your brand or product.
All right, so we've been looking at it from the business owner's perspective. Let's take it down to the influencers because I'm pretty sure they also have one or two concerns, okay? And talking about their concerns, there's this thing that happens to do it when an influencer wants to get creative, okay? This is I have a product that someone wants me to sell, but I love how I present my products to the public, okay? My fans and followers know how I do my things. But then there's always the question of brand control. So how do you balance that for the influencer?
Yeah.
How does he or she balance creative freedom for influencers with the need for brand control in digital campaigns?
Okay, so this question is quite tricky, right? So for any brand, they do their research, look at the personality of the influencer, right? And see if this person is, because you don't want to, if you're a very strict corporate B2B and you want to see as a you want to be seen as a premium brand. You don't want to engage someone who fights on social media. You don't want to engage someone who would dampen the reputation of your brand, right? So that research is done. The research of also how this person passes their message across, right? If this person wants to influence a brand or a product with the person up on keke or in public transport, what have they done in the past? And then when you engage them, you want to have that conversation. Okay, this is how we are. This is our tone. Tonality is very important. We're seen as a corporate brand. We're not too friendly. We're friendly. We're this. We're that. We want to be seen as the top 20. We pride ourselves in letting our target audience know that we're a premium brand and we are one of the best top three. So that helps the influencer to have an in-depth knowledge of how to promote you, right? So brands sometimes they say, oh, I want to see what you did before you post online. I want to see what you did before you publish it. And I think that is also very valid because as a brand person, you want to be sure on behalf of the organization that whatever is being put out there, you're able to control the narrative. You're able to control the perception of whoever is on the receiving end, that is your target audience. So I think that this is a discussion that needs to be held in the four walls of the room to decide how you want, your brand to be represented and just have a heart-to-heart talk with the influencer and everything will be fine.
And Miss Detta, if there's anything I got from what you said, is the aspect that it's not just the business owners that have to do research or whoever it is they're reaching out to promote their products or services. The influencer too has to do his or her own research to understand the brand. Perfect.
I feel like you get me so well.
I know, right? Okay, now, I believe from your experience that you have different conversations with different influencers, okay, from different demographics, okay? Now, this brings me to conversations that happen before they go ahead to start these businesses. So, how do you approach influencer partnerships differently when targeting different demographics? Let's say you have the Gen Zs versus the millennials. You have the ones that have different interests or maybe based in different locations.
Yeah, so first off, for different products, there's something that we call personas, right? So personas are the different categories of people that your product should appeal to or categories of your target audience, right? Let's say for Facebook, right? Would say that most of the millennials are on Facebook, but it doesn't also mean that Facebook is not targeting these Gen Zs, right, to use it. So they're actually different personas. There's something that Mark started to do, recently, or should I say, his brand team. You know, in the past, you wouldn't see Mark come out to engage on social media or whatnot, but now he comes out. They use him to market, more like personalized branding.
Okay.
So personalized branding for the product, not for himself. So you'd see him, talking about Facebook, or talking about a feature or something that is his brand team trying to leverage is who this influencer appeals to, right? Or who are the demographics of people that appeals to this influencer,
Okay.
right? A can I call names?
Definitely.
Okay. A Mr. Macaroni would appeal to people, Gen Zs, Alpha, and also millennials,
Okay.
right? Because of the kind of content that daddy wa, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
It's something that a larger audience of people can relate with and
Okay.
can connect with. And you'd see that in most of his skits, he also promotes businesses or products with them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you also want to look at the engagement, and analytics of who are the people commenting, who are the people following, right? You want to look at basically the numbers, because numbers won't lie to you. Trust me, numbers won't lie to you.
Definitely.
So you want to check the following, the engagement, age bracket of people that engage. You can check through some posts to look at, okay, this person that commented, this person, okay, what does this person looks like? What does them look right now? What does this person look like? How does this person engage and whatnot? So those are things that you actually look at to know what demographics of people are particular to that person. Another thing is platform. For
Okay.
LinkedIn, you're looking at professionals. You don't want to post anything informal, too informal, let me say, on LinkedIn. On TikTok, everybody is a player. Everybody wants to go there to laugh and ease off.
Yeah.
So you don't want to post, I'm thrilled to announce that. I
Yeah,
just
you're not
resumed
too
a new
serious.
job.
Okay.
On TikTok, right?
Yes.
On Twitter, you want to go, Gen Zs, they're the alpha, they're the people there,
Okay.
and you want to engage them in a tone that they can resonate with.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, people like pictures, videos, and cool. So that is what you want to use to engage them.
Okay.
So again, you can look at so just because I'm an influencer on LinkedIn doesn't make me an influencer on TikTok.
Okay.
Just because I'm an influencer on Facebook doesn't make me an influencer on LinkedIn. So you want to look at those things, and what particular platform your influencer or your chosen influencer is more active and engaging.
But is it possible though to find influencers that can actually leverage on different platforms?
Yes.
Not just focused on one.
Yes.
And it's not a bad investment per se.
It's not a bad investment.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Fisayo has a YouTube channel. It started from Instagram, reviewing tech products and co. But now it's on YouTube. I watched a video some days ago, and it's on TikTok also.
Okay.
So and he also has a large following on TikTok. So you can be an influencer on various platforms, right? The thing is just to have should I say, the commanding power, for people to follow you and say what you do what you say, or follow through on your advice to them, right? So you don't have to be stuck on one platform. It depends on how well you leverage the different social media platforms that are available.
All right, let's talk about post-campaign or post-partnerships, okay? What are the key metrics a brand should track to determine if an influencer campaign is successful in the digital space?
Okay, when is social media mentioned, you want to see how well people are, talking about you. You want to do activate Google Alerts, how many people are searching for you.
Okay.
You want to check your downloads, like I mentioned before, your signups, your users. You want to check, that's amongst every other thing that you want to check. But I think that the most important for top five are your mentions, your search engine. You want to check recommendations, right? That also helps you to check how well your product is, because I won't recommend a product that I do not like. So when an influencer influences a product or a brand and I like it, I tell my friend, oh, have you heard of this product? You should use them and use them, right? So you want to check that also, and then you want to check, the comments or engagement on that influencer's post also.
Okay, interesting. It shows that Miss Pamela Erin here obviously knows her business. Okay, okay. Now, before we leave, let's talk. Let's look a little bit into the future. There's been a whole lot of conversations around the aspect of AI wanting to take people's jobs. Okay, and obviously influencers are not left out on this one. So, how do you see the role of influencers evolving as we're already having AI and virtual influencers already gaining popularity in the digital branded space?
Okay, so to be honest with you, I'd say that human influencers have nothing to lose or have to fear nothing, because bring me back to the conversation of AI writing tools, ChatGPT, Gemini from Google and co. Right? There was a time or a period when everybody was saying, "Oh, I don't need a content writer. If ChatGPT can give me this, what is it?" But forgive me for laughing, but you and I can tell that it's really not that deep.
Okay.
Right. Yes, I think that AI is available to assist, not to do. Right. And you want to be original, you want to be unique, you want to put in efforts when you're selling, when you're marketing, because your customers, they are very emotional. I can watch an ad and say that you didn't even put in so much and I'm not going to use you. Right? Yeah, so like your target audience, you have to think of them as very emotional.
Okay.
Give them what they want. Let them feel special. Imagine I'm reading an article or watching an ad, and I can see that everything here is similar to an ad I watched yesterday from another brand. Right. I feel like there's not so much put into this. I first ask myself, who are the people on the marketing team? Who are the people on the brand team? So I think that they do not have anything to fear, honestly, because even when we have AI influencers, you have to give them a prompt. Those prompts are going to be given to them by humans, right? Yes. So, and influencers, there's something about originality and uniqueness. As much as you see that someone is trying to do like macaroni, someone is trying to do like to be like Odunlade, the Yoruba actor. Someone is trying to be like Gilmore, but you can try to be like, you cannot be.
Yes.
You understand? So there's that uniqueness in every influencer that makes them who they are, that makes them, profitable, that makes them to be the most sought after. And I do not think that AI can replace that.
Beautiful. I'm pretty sure you all have heard that, so you have to keep your cool, okay? AIs are not taking your influencing platforms or jobs. Okay, before we get to leave here, like I said, I really appreciate how much you've obviously shared with us here, and I understand how vast your experience is. And I do believe, obviously, that audience have learned not one or two, but a lot, obviously, from all we've talked about. But before we leave, what advice would you give to brands that are looking to build not short-term relationships, more like build a long-term digital partnerships with influencers, rather than the one-off collaborations that most of them get to jump into?
First, I'd say that it's not a bad idea, right? When you engage an influencer long term, gradually they become a part of the brand,
Okay.
Gradually, they represent the brand.
Mm.
So when they make social media posts or when they engage online, it seems as if they're representing the brand. So that what's that one advice I'd actually give? I'd say that it's actually a good investment. People change. And I think that for people such as influencers, you need to move on later, right? Because makes me wonder what do you what you're going to give to them. But honestly, it's a good thing to make someone or to meet someone that can become a representation of the brand on social media and wherever that you want them to be. Um, just trust your instincts. And again, numbers do not lie. Do your research, check your numbers, analytics, insights, research. Everything is research, believe me. And that would help you determine if you want to engage an influencer long term, short term, or in fact, if you want to put them on the CEO's chair.
And that's a very interesting one. Well, actually, we've been here discussing the role of influencers in modern branding. And I'm pretty sure from all the discussions that we've had here, all the questions that we have addressed, you could say that whatever thoughts or whatever reservations you had when it comes to do with when it has to do with branding and influencers getting involved in your branding, obviously from our discussions those thoughts or those perceptions have obviously been redefined. Okay, now we're not forcing you to jump into influencer branding, but we're just telling you, I mean, at least from all that Ms. Pamela has said, that it is worth an investment and you should try it. Maybe not for the long term or turning the influencer into a CEO, but at least try the one of collaborations and let's see how it goes. And if it works perfectly for you, if the numbers are effective, are efficient, and like she said, the numbers do not lie. If they are not lying, okay, and your return of investment is coming off well and the numbers are showing well, then you can actually go on to do something way longer than just a one-off collaboration. Obviously, we've been here on Tech Passion Special on Tech Passion TV with our very own special guest. I must say, really special guest, because you're not the only one that has learned something. I have learned a lot. So thank you so much, Ms. Pamela, for joining us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right. So I'm pretty sure we get to do this some other time, but maybe we'll be addressing something else.
Mm-hmm. We should. We should.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. All right. So this is a wrap on Tech Passion Special for today. We'll do this again same time next week. Do have a wonderful day. My name is Gabriella Michael.